My name is Emily. I'm 32 years old, and this is the story of how my perfect older brother stole my inheritance and how I destroyed his carefully constructed lies in front of our entire family. I have one sibling, my brother Jason, who's 35. Growing up, Jason was the golden child. Star athlete, straight A's, full scholarship to college. I was the quiet one, the creative daughter who went to community college and worked her way through school. My parents, especially my father, never hid their favoritism. Jason could do no wrong. When he graduated from business school and got a job at a consulting firm, my father threw him a party. When I graduated with my nursing degree, I got a card and $50. But I didn't complain. I built my life independently. I became a trauma nurse, bought my own small condo, and never asked my parents for money. Then, 2 years ago, my grandmother died. She left behind a significant estate, about $800,000 in cash and property. In her will, she'd specified that the money should be split equally between Jason and me, $400,000 each. My parents were the executors of the estate. They were supposed to distribute the inheritance within 6 months of her death. 6 months came and went, nothing. I called my mother. Mom, have you finalized Grandma's estate? I wanted to start planning what to do with the inheritance. Oh, honey, there's been some complications with the will. The lawyers are handling it. It'll be sorted out soon. Another 6 months passed. I called again. Mom, it's been a year. What's going on with the inheritance? This time, her voice was tense. Emily, your father and I need to talk to you. Can you come over for dinner this weekend? I went to their house that Saturday. My father was sitting in his usual chair, looking uncomfortable. My mother sat next to him, twisting her hands nervously. What's going on? I asked. My father cleared his throat. Emily, we've made a decision about your grandmother's estate. Jason needs the money more than you do right now. My stomach dropped. What does that mean? Jason's been having some financial difficulties. Business investments that didn't pan out. He's in debt, and he needs help getting back on his feet. Okay, so help him. But that doesn't explain why I haven't received my inheritance. My parents looked at each other. We gave Jason your share, my father said bluntly. I felt like I'd been punched. You, what? It's still in the family, she said quickly, and Jason promised he'd pay you back once he's stable. You gave him my $400,000? He needed it, Emily. You have a good job, you're financially stable. Jason was drowning. What were we supposed to do? Not steal my inheritance. I stood up, shaking. Grandma left that money to me. It was in her will. We're the executors, my father said coldly. We made a judgment call. Jason's our son too, and he needed help. I'm your daughter. Doesn't that count for anything? Don't be dramatic, my father snapped. Jason will pay you back. When? My father had no answer. I left their house that night knowing I'd never see that money again. I consulted with a lawyer, but because my parents were the executors and had legal authority over the estate distribution, and because they claimed it was a family loan to Jason, there wasn't much I could do without a costly legal battle that might take years. I was devastated. Not just about the money, but about the betrayal. My parents had stolen from me to give to their favorite child. For months, I barely spoke to them. Jason never called to apologize or explain. He just took the money and acted like everything was fine. Then came Thanksgiving this year. My mother called me. Emily, please come to Thanksgiving dinner. It's been almost 2 years. We're family. We need to move past this. Move past you stealing $400,000 from me? It wasn't stealing, she said tiredly. And Jason has been doing much better. He's turned his life around. Please, Emily, for me. Against my better judgment, I agreed to come. But I'd been doing some research over the past few months because I wanted to know exactly where my $400,000 had gone. I hired a private investigator. It cost me $3,000, but what he found was worth every penny. Jason wasn't married, according to our family. He'd been focusing on his career and hadn't found the right person. He lived alone in a nice apartment downtown. Except that was all a lie. Jason had been married for 6 years to a woman named Michelle. They had 3 children together, ages 5, 3, and 1. They lived in a beautiful house in the suburbs, a house that was purchased 2 years ago for $650,000. Purchased right after Jason received my inheritance money. Jason had a completely separate life that he'd hidden from our entire family. A wife, 3 kids, a house, and he used my money to buy that house. The private investigator gave me photos, marriage certificates, birth certificates, property records, everything. I also discovered why Jason had kept his family secret. Michelle was Black, and our father, though he'd never say it outright, was deeply racist. Jason knew Dad would never approve of the marriage, so he'd simply never told them. He'd lived this double life for 6 years, coming to family dinners alone, claiming he was working late when he was actually at home with his wife and kids, lying about everything. And he'd stolen my inheritance to fund his secret life. I showed up at Thanksgiving dinner with a folder full of evidence. The whole family was there. My parents, Jason, my aunt and uncle, my cousins, my grandmother's sister, my great-aunt, about 15 people total. We sat down for dinner. My father said grace. Everyone started eating and making small talk. Then my mother smiled at Jason. "Jason, honey, your father and I were talking. Now that you're financially stable again, maybe it's time you started thinking about settling down, finding a nice girl." Jason shifted uncomfortably. "Maybe, Mom. I'm pretty busy with work right now." "You're 35, my father said. "Your sister might beat you to the altar at this rate." Everyone laughed, including Jason. That's when I pulled out my folder. "Actually," I said loudly, "Jason's already married." The table went silent. "What?" my mother asked. "Jason's been married for 6 years to a woman named Michelle. They have 3 children together, ages 5, 3, and 1. Jason's face went white. "Emily, what are you—" I pulled out the photos and started passing them around the table. Wedding photos, photos of Jason with Michelle and their kids, photos of their house. "This is Jason's wife, Michelle. These are their children, Ava, age 5, Noah, age 3, and Mia, age 1. And this is their house, purchased 2 years ago for $650,000. Purchased right after Jason received my inheritance money." I pulled out the property records and handed them to my father. "He used my money as a down payment on a house for the family he's been hiding from all of you." "Jason, stop." I had no right. I stood up too. "You stole my inheritance. You've been lying to our entire family for years, and you want to talk it out rights?" "Why didn't you tell us you were married?" my mother asked, tears streaming down her face. "Why would you hide this?" Jason looked at our father. "Because I knew Dad would never accept Michelle." "Why not?" my aunt asked. "What's wrong with her?" "She's Black," I said simply. Jason knew Dad's opinions, so he kept his entire family a secret rather than face disapproval. Everyone looked at my father, whose face was now purple with rage. "So let me get this straight," my great-aunt said slowly. "Jason hid his wife and children because he was ashamed to tell you about them. Then he took Emily's inheritance money his own grandma left her, to buy a house for the family he was hiding from all of you." "We didn't know," my mother started. "You didn't ask," my great-aunt snapped. "You just gave him $400,000 without question, because he's always been your favorite." "That's not fair," my father said. "What's not fair is that I worked my entire life to earn your approval, while Jason got it by default. What's not fair is that I became a nurse and saved lives, while Jason lied and stole. What's not fair is that I lost my grandmother's inheritance because you love him more than you love me." My mother was sobbing now. "Emily, please." "I want my money back," I said to Jason. "All of it. $400,000 plus interest. You have 30 days or I'm filing a lawsuit." "I don't have that kind of money," he said desperately. "Then sell the house you bought with my inheritance. Or take out a loan. Or ask mom and dad to give you their retirement savings like they gave me mine. I don't care how you do it. But you have 30 days. I picked up my purse and walked toward the door.